So remember, we've talked about finding the least common denominator or least common multiple between two numbers. So remember, when you want to add or subtract any kinds of fractions, you have to find a common denominator, right? So we need to find, a common denominator. So we're going to be looking between to find the least common multiple of 8 and 12. And conceptually, what you're saying is you're going to be, let's double 12, get to 24, and then 3 times 12 is 36, 4 times 12 is 48, right? So this is 1 times, this is 2 times, this is 3 times, 4 times. And now if we did the same thing to 8, we have 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 8 is 24, 4 times 8 is 32. So conceptually what we're doing is we're trying to find the number the first time they both meet up. And that is what we call the least common multiple, or when we're talking about fractions, the least common denominator for fractions. Now, if we had more difficult numbers, it wouldn't be as straightforward as just constantly adding those numbers up. So there's a more methodical way of doing this. Let me erase everything here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the numbers 12, 12, and 8, and we're going to write them in terms of their prime factors. And if you don't remember the prime factors, let's take a look at 12, right? You can say 12 is 2 and 6, and then 2 and 3, right? So now we can't go any further. So we've got 12 is 2 times 2 times 3, right? And then of course 8, we can do the same thing, 2 and 4, 2 and 2, so we have 2, 2, 2. So we've got 2, 2, 2, right? We've got 2 times 2 times 2 gives me 8, and 2 times 2 times 3 gives me 12. To find the least common multiple or least common denominator, we're going to take the most of each factors. The most of each factors. And we're going to multiply them together. So if I look down, this say is my 2's column, and this is my 3's column. The most number of 2's that I see for each one of the numbers is 2 times 2 times 2, right? There's 3 of them. And the most, this one, 8 doesn't have any 3's, but we've got to keep track of our 3's also, right? So the least common denominator for 8 and 12 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, or 24. Okay, so that's the more methodical way of getting to your least common denominator. Okay, now that we have our least common denominator, what we need to do is to write each of these fractions in terms of the common denominator. Since the question is only asking us to find the least common denominator, our answer will simply be 24. Later on, we're going to learn how to add and subtract these fractions, in which case we're going to write each of these fractions as an equivalent expression.